Hello.
Hi. I'm
Oh,
breathing in.
sorry, your nose is blocked.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Uh,
Okay, fine.
it is well.
It's well.
It
It's
is
well
well.
with you. So okay, fine. So today I wanted to talk about how we behave during disagreements and conflicts, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's something that apparently happens quite often amongst couples.
Yeah, it's a normal thing that happens when two people come together because there are two backgrounds.
Yeah,
It starts with two people talking over each other, trying to be heard at the same time.
over the same
Over the
issue
same issue,
with probably different opinions.
Exactly. Different opinions on the same issue. And they are right in their own eyes.
Yeah,
What happens is they keep talking and you see raised voices because you're not listening to me. You're talking, you're trying to get your point across to me, and I'm trying to get my point across to you. Nobody's
Yeah.
listening.
yeah.
Before you know it, we're angry, resentment comes in, because you feel you're right and you should be
Yeah.
heard,
Yeah.
That's how it starts. So the main thing is trying to avoid that conflict from happening even before it starts, or knowing the right character
The
around
right behavior
the
around
right
them. I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
Because I think between ourselves we do have our behaviors around conflicts.
It, yes.
I wouldn't call them rules because we didn't sit down and say, right, we're not going to do this, or this. But it's just something that we found that worked for us in our 8 years
still working.
still working.
Yeah.
We do still have our disagreements, but we try to make sure we stay within those boundaries. For instance, we don't shout.
Yeah, we don't shout
When we disagree. We don't raise
Not
our
at all.
voices.
No.
We keep it level.
Yeah.
Because there's no point.
There's no point.
Shouting is not going to achieve anything.
There's no point.
It might wake the kids.
Yeah, that's about all it will do.
it might wake the kids.
Yeah, raised voices doesn't do any good. It causes harm even because the next person starts
feeling
more
emotional.
Starts feeling more emotional, and you can't control it anymore. And then another thing we don't do is name calling. We don't call names. Like if I'm angry now,
you're
say, "Oh, you're a fool. Your papa, your mama," all those kind. We don't do that at all because there are some things you say that you can never take back.
You can't take them back
because the hurt you've caused the hurt already. Even if you say sorry and you feel like you've apologized, the next person will never forget what you told them. In their mind, they'll be thinking, is this how she sees me? It goes deeper than what you say on the surface. So that's why we never ever do that.
Yeah. And interestingly, most of the time these conflicts are over small things.
Yes.
And then you cause major damage over something so small. And then when you think about it in the future, you're thinking, why did we even disagree over this thing?
Yeah.
But there's some damage that you can't repair.
Mm.
And the other thing is we don't hit below the belt. Talking about damage. You know some things about me that no one else knows.
Yeah.
And some of them are not so nice, right? And I know some things about you which you've told me in confidence.
Yeah.
Imagine in the middle of a conflict, that is what I then use against you.
Oh no. Mm.
What is the guarantee that tomorrow you want to tell me stuff?
Or trust you.
Or trust me with your private information.
Yeah.
And it then gets to the point where I'm having to protect myself from you. Or you're having to protect yourself from me.
That's a very bad place to be. When you have to protect yourself from someone you're in a marriage with or you're in a relationship.
The person you're supposed to trust the most.
That's horrible. Violence.
Yeah, well, physical violence.
We don't do that at all. We don't do no form of violence. No, not hitting your partner, not hitting or destroying anything in the house.
Yeah.
Because what will it achieve, really?
Well, absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
except destroying something probably expensive that you then have to buy
again. So it doesn't change. It doesn't make you feel better. It doesn't make the next person understand you. It doesn't do anything. It just doesn't make sense to us.
Sorry, we're not laughing, but
that's just how it is. It's just an understanding that you have to have for yourself.
And obviously, one of the things we don't do, we don't put space between ourselves. Just because we have disagreed over stuff.
Something,
we've talked about this in the previous video, haven't we? It doesn't help anyone. When you put space between yourselves, all you've done is you've created space for you to go off and think, and I go off and think, and sometimes in that thought process, it's not all good thoughts. Rather, what we try and do is we try and resolve our conflicts in a timely manner, i.e. we try not to allow the sun go down on it. And it's not because we made it as a rule, it's just because we found out it doesn't really work when we try to sleep angry at each other.
Angry at each other. You won't sleep well. That's normal. Like you
just
have bad dreams.
you just notice that the other person is they have their back to you, but they're not really sleeping.
They're not sleeping.
You
they're
can tell
awake, like,
by their breathing pattern that they're not really
sleeping.
And then you go,
are you sleeping? Are you awake?
Are you awake?
I think you did today. I don't like
it.
So there's no way.
Don't do it again.
There's no way we can't give that space, because that's where it all starts to, you start burning the bridges basically. You can't come back from it when you give that space.
So we don't also do silent treatments.
Yeah, we don't do silent treatments.
You want the next person to figure out what is on your mind. Right? That's what silent treatment is.
Confession. I used to do it though. I used to do it. We don't do it, but I used to do it. This man right here, he was the one that preached me out of it. Dragged me out of that, because that was my go-to. Anytime I'm angry, I'm proud in my silent treatment. I ignore you forever. But it's not the way to go, because it doesn't resolve anything. The person is not a magician. You can't see what's going on in my head or in my mind if I don't say it out.
Yeah.
So it's been something that have helped our relationship a lot, because I've changed. I'm not like that anymore. So I talk, even if it means saying 2 words or 3 words, I will say something so you can know what's on my mind.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very good, thing to do when you're in a disagreement with your partner.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Just
always talk.
Whatever you
always
can,
talk.
just try and say something.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I think the other thing we will need to talk about maybe in another video is how to resolve conflict. I think we've talked about how to behave in conflict, but we need to talk about how to resolve conflict.
Yeah, very, very important actually.
Because there are people who think that resolving conflict means someone gets cheated. But it's not true.
It's not true. True. Yeah.
You can resolve conflict, and somehow both parties can be happy with the resolution of that conflict.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's for another video.
It is. So I think that's the end for us in this video.
For this one.
We'll see you in the next one. All right.
All right, guys. See you later.
Bye.
Peace.
See ya.
Bye.